It's been about 2 weeks. I've had my TIF surgery, transoral, incisionless fundoplication, and in the beginning it was pretty rough. The first times you would eat or drink anything, you would get like referred pain, like right in this area, kind of like right here, like in the neck, throat area. Had to swallow things really slow. I started off on like this Premier protein, which I think is like the best tasting one compared to Slim Fast and all the other ones I've tried. But still, at first, any kind of swallowing it, every time you'd feel like the referred pain, like right in the collarbone kind of area. And just had to go a lot slower than normal. You can't chug anything. You gotta take each sip slowly and expect the pain to come. They did give me some liquid Norco basically for pain. I took that usually when I try to lay down. Some of the instructions were, take each pill that you have to take, one pill at a time. They don't want things getting stuck in there. Surgery wasn't too bad. Woke up from it. It was relatively routine. I came home that day, was already on the treadmill. I think I got over 10,000 steps that day. I try to get that every day regardless. Some of the things, you start off on a liquid diet basically. You're allowed to have the protein shakes, Jello, stuff like that. And the diet's actually the hardest part because it starts off for the first 2 weeks you're just on the total liquid diet. You're not allowed to have anything, at all. They don't want things getting stuck in there and causing inflammation and disrupting the healing process. One of the things I didn't know before the surgery is that they wanted me to get off of caffeine. So I kind of had to go through caffeine withdrawal, which, it wasn't, I've had it worse before, but it wasn't that bad this time. I don't know if it was the pain medicine that helped block it out, but yeah, if I would have known that ahead of time, I would have weaned myself off of the caffeine. But, that's something to consider because they don't want you taking any caffeine, any chocolate, any tea, because I guess that, disturbs the stomach inside there, so you have to get off caffeine also. If you do smoke, which I don't, but you still have to get off of that too. You're not allowed to smoke, you're not supposed to suck on candy, stuff like that, not even use a straw. It's a little rough just drinking the protein shake for a while. I actually cheated, and I looked ahead, and I had printed up a TIF diet before, and it had the cream of wheat and on the liquid diet. So that's one of the things I tried after about like a week and a day. It was like Saturday or so after, a week after the surgery, and I tried cream of wheat, and it went down just fine. So because that went down fine, I looked at that week 3, and week 3 had eggs, said soft eggs, had like cheese, Velveeta, mozzarella in that. So I ended up making some scrambled eggs with some Velveeta cheese in it, and I tried that, and it went down good too. So I started that a little earlier than I was supposed to, but the problem with the protein shakes is you drink those and they have like 160 calories, 30 grams protein, like 1 gram of sugar. They're really good for you, but about an hour and a half later, you're already starving again. Your stomach's growling. Maybe not always an hour and a half, but not. It feels like not shortly after you've had it, you're already hungry again. And one of the other things they don't want you to do is to, eat or drink anything and then go right to bed. So if you do drink something or eat something, they want you to sit upright for like 2 hours before you do rest. So a lot of times I would drink the shake, and then by the time you get into bed, try to sleep, your stomach's already growling, and it's hard to sleep when you're hungry. So you get out of bed and drink some more. So that's when I think the eggs helped a lot. It helped keep me a little fuller. So like if I was going to go to bed, I'd have eggs later in the day. Wait the 2 hours, and then I could go to bed, and I wouldn't be laying in bed with my stomach growling and making it even harder to fall asleep. So that's one of the things that I did, and I mentioned it to him at the appointment that I had Thursday, which was Wednesday, and that was a 2-week appointment, and they didn't seem to mind it. I told them I tried it and just took a couple bites and it went down fine. So I told them that I was more worried about being not drink, because I did that the one night I was laying in bed, I couldn't sleep, and just laying there in bed, I grabbed one of the protein shakes next to my bed, and when I drank it laying down, it hurt really bad, and I had to instantly sit up. It was like one of the worst pains I had because it just didn't go good. They also tell you not to burp, so like if you feel the air coming up, you got to try to kind of like resist it, let it go down the other way. I sleep with a CPAP. I have obstructive sleep apnea also, and for those that do, it increases your gas output, and I don't know if it's a combination of that and because the surgery doesn't allow stuff to come up this way, your gas increases a lot too, which I heard about that from other people's videos saying that, you know, especially with the old like laparoscopically done procedures, I guess they didn't allow like anything to come up for a while when they first were doing these procedures, and I guess all the gas came out the other way, which really made some people's lives miserable. So that's another thing to think about. But I mean, I've been exercising. One of the things I did do, he told me even before the surgery, he didn't want me lifting anything over 15 pounds for 3 months, you know, to give it time to heal in there. And so, you know, I came home and I like to exercise, work out, and treadmill and stuff like that. So, of course, I started doing weights right away, light weights, just like you said. But you know, just to try not to lose as much. I mean, you're going to lose weight anyway because you couldn't overdo it and eat more than yours. But I mean, I try to use it as a way to lose weight while I'm on this ridiculous diet. One of the other things before I forget it is that you're not supposed to have anything too cold or too hot because they don't want that interfering with the stitches or the whatever they put in there to, I don't know if they're plastic or what, but that make the valve inside there. So no ice cream, no popsicles, no, I mean, I make tea, I have decaffeinated tea, and I'd heat it up and everything, put all my stuff in there, honey, creamer, and then put a couple ice cubes in there to cool it down so that I wasn't, you know, risking that. I haven't had any ice cream or popsicles. I forgot to ask about that at my follow-up appointment, but I figured I shouldn't be eating those anyway if I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm just gonna pretend I'm not allowed to have those still. So that'll keep it one of the bad things off my diet. It's really rough watching all the commercials and everything's, you know, steak and lobster and chicken sandwiches, cheeseburger. I mean, stuff you're not allowed to have and not allowed to have for a long time. I don't have the lists on me right now, but from memory, you're not allowed to even have meat for 8 weeks after the surgery, which I'm a big time meat eater and that's really hard. The eggs, I can still consider meat even though most people don't, but so that made it a little better, being able to have that. At my appointment too, I've had a lot of surgeries, which I might get into videos on that later, but one of the other surgeries I was on the liquid diet about a month before this surgery, and one of the things when they upgraded me from the liquid diet, they put me on a pureed diet. So one of the things I did is I made chicken soup and then pureed that, and that went down pretty good. So at the appointment, I asked them, I said, is that something I could try? You know, chicken soup has meat in it, but you know, not a lot of slop noodles, liquid. And I asked them, and they said, you know, go ahead and try it, and as long as it doesn't cause you any problems, you know, it should be okay. So that's one of the things I've been starting to eat. I started it yesterday, or 2 days ago, and so far it's been going on okay. You know, and that's the other thing too, you don't want to eat large portions like before. I mean, some people eat to where they're like stuffed. You can't do that. You just eat a little bit and then more frequently have some meals. You know, so I make it like a smaller size I purposely grab a smaller bowl for the soup or for the eggs that I'm making and try to eat less. And it's been going okay, but you know, I think the next upgrade I get to do is in another week. I get to have some noodles, and it says like no wheat or whole grain. So I'm thinking of making like, you know, macaroni and cheese, stuff like that, and being able to eat that'll be nice. But yeah, it's gonna be a while till, and then like I think it's week 6, you're actually allowed to start having like salads and stuff like that. Other things you're supposed to avoid, like this week at week 3, I'm allowed to have fruits and vegetables. Vegetables have to be cooked, you know, to where they're soft. You can mash them with a fork, she said. And you can't have certain vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, like pineapples, stringy, things like that could get caught in there or cause problems. But yeah, I'm looking forward to eventually having meat again. But even when at 8 weeks, it says when you're allowed to have meat, you have to have like 1 serving a day and a small serving. So yeah, it's just, the diet's really rough for me, but the surgery wasn't too bad. I mean, compared to other ones I've had, it's not that bad. The referred pain, you know, when you swallow stuff for the first, like, I'd say 3 or 4 days kind of hurts, and it's annoying, but it forces you to eat slower and drink slower, because if you do take a couple gulps of something in a row, you're going to get the pain. So it makes you slow down and drink a little slower. You also get these like hiccup things, which is kind of like a hiccup and then like a burp at the same time. Those happen sometimes, and those hurt at first also. Yeah, I mean, for the first couple of nights at home, one of the things I did to try to make the pain a little better is, like, if I was on the treadmill, I have like these waist trimmer wrap things that I put like with an ice pack in there, and I put it like right in my sternum area where the surgery is kind of like, you know, it's close to that area, and try to like ice it down. Or at night, what I would do is when I'd lay in the bed, I would lay with the heat on the heating pad with like it against the chest area where the surgery was done, because you do feel some nauseous. Like when I first came home, the first day I was really close to throwing up, and that's like one of the worst things you can do. So yeah, take anti-nausea medicine if you have it. You're supposed to also take like Gas X or something. So I take that every time before I eat. I take a little pill of that to try to reduce the gas. You're supposed to avoid foods that produce gas also. And yeah, it's going pretty good. I mean, the diet, like I said, is the hardest part, but I'm kind of using that anyway to motivate myself to lose some more weight. I've been losing weight before that even, but this will give me a, when you're only allowed to eat certain things and you have to eat small amounts, it's a good time to lose weight. And so I'm continuing my walking. I'm trying to do 10 to 20,000 steps a day. I'm in between classes right now. I'm starting Anatomy 2 in the summer, June 3rd. So I'm we're trying to read the book ahead of time, and they have another book, like an application manual that I'm working on also. And then in the fall I start the RM program. So I got a lot of stuff to do that, to take up the time and just try to heal. If you feel tired, I'll take a little nap, lay down. So it's a work in progress, but I'll update later about how the progress is going once I get onto some other foods. But yeah, the diet's the hardest part for me, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll try to answer them as quick as possible, so you'll know what to expect if you have the surgery. And like I said, the recovery didn't seem, I was in and out of there pretty quick, and the diet, like I said, the referred pain and the diet are like the worst parts. But the referred pain, and that goes away in about a week, a little over a week. And then, I'll still have pain. I still have a little discomfort in there, but it's not that bad. Sometimes I take a deep breath and you'll feel a little pain in there, but it's reduced a lot since the surgery. So, well, I'll update you guys later, and let me know if you have any questions. Comment below, and I'll answer as soon as I can. Take it easy.